Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to my podcast, Snack Thoughts. I say again, welcome to my podcast, Snack Thoughts. And guys, please excuse me if my voice sounds a little bit nasally. I had been under the weather for a little bit, so I'm almost fully recovered. But anyway, welcome to the podcast. And what is my thought for tonight? Well, my thought again is the BRICS nations. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and obviously other nations that have joined the BRICS. But for the nice episode, I would call it the BRICS, no turning back. I'll say it again, the BRICS, no turning back. And if you were to ask me why I would say that about the BRICS Alliance, well, the BRICS have made several moves. And I mean, they've made these moves fast. And I've mentioned it before, that the BRICS being headed by China, that China and Russia would use the BRICS basically to challenge the United States and NATO in de-dollarization. But the reason why I say that the BRICS have made significant moves and there's no turning back, well, let me go give you a little bit of some updates. These are some of the moves that have been made by the BRICS. Number one, the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, and the World Bank, they had invited the BRICS to become members and to participate in their banking system, to include the SWIFT system. And what happened is that the BRICS Alliance, they declined to become part of the IMF and the World Bank, and also the SWIFT system. Now, understand something, that the SWIFT system, basically, just about all countries operate in the SWIFT system, but what the BRICS Alliance has sought to do is to have an alternative to the SWIFT payment or transaction system globally, so they can operate with a different payment system, provided if things go bad with the United States and the West, then they can still operate with other foreign nations that maybe the United States, United Nations may not be on good terms with, but they can still move transactions and money around and get their business done. And what's finally happening is that the United States and the West global hegemony and their supremacy, basically, the BRICS is bringing it to an end, because they're tired of the United States and the West bullying, but mainly the United States. Now, within the SWIFT system, the United States happens to have two chairs at the table. So in order for you to have two chairs at the table in the SWIFT payment system globally, that means you're the leader and you have to have some pull. So that means that you get to say what goes down. Now, obviously, we know that there's obviously other European nations that have power also. And there's an individual, I think his name is Klaus Schwab, and he's one of the big dogs, within the SWIFT system and stuff like that. The IMF and the World Bank, he has a lot of power and pull, Klaus Schwab. And I don't know if he's German, Dutch or Swedish, I forgot, so there are other big players in this. But what's happening is that a lot of nations, they are tired of being locked out by the United States and other Western European nations, locking them out of economic opportunities, locking them out of the ability to do trade and to open up financial markets and systems for their countries, thus being able to provide better opportunities for the citizens in their nations. And the United States and the West, I mean, and power is a dirty game. It's a dirty game, you know. But let me run through some of my notes, you know, as I took some notes watching Fastpo and stuff like that. But let's see, what are the moves by the BRICS nations? Okay, so what they've done, they've set up custom and tax cooperation. Okay, financing major infrastructure projects. Okay, they've also, let's see, what else have they done? Founding a financial rescue network. Okay, expanding insurance cooperation and linking BRICS stock exchanges. So what does that tell you there? These nations have decided to unilaterally link their stock exchanges and also their financial systems to each other. So which it would enable them to perform trade. It would enable them to invest in each other's markets, to include their stock exchanges. You know, so what they are seeking to do is to have other alternatives, you know, to Wall Street, the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, and basically the United States and the West, you know, controlling dominance. You know, they want to have their own, these countries want to have their own independence. And I said it before that China is the new sheriff in town and Russia is running closely behind them. And to keep it real, India is close behind coming up in the future. As you know, that the United States and the West, we outsource a lot of our tech jobs and stuff like that to India, you know, call centers to India, you know, the Philippines, you know. So it's no surprise, you know. But the BRICS Alliance, they refused to be a part, to accept the invitation by the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. You know, they chose not to be a part of it and chose to go a separate route to create their own individual payment system. And they basically have found a workaround to the SWIFT. Now, the BRICS Alliance and these countries, a part of their plan is to utilize blockchains and digital payment systems. And when we talk about utilize blockchain, they're talking about utilizing cryptocurrency as a payment. So I had made videos in the past years ago about cryptocurrency is here to stay, and it is coming to pass. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. It's the wave of the future. So it might be a hint, you know, for those of us to get in on that crypto, because it's going to rise. Because even if the United States or the West, to a certain degree, we in, and certain people might be dragging their feet about rolling into it, other nations, they're jumping into it because they see it as a way of independence, and they obviously going to balance it against their own currencies. But they're ready to, and they're rolling this thing out fast. Now, why do I say this is significant? Well, the BRICS Alliance equates to 40% of the world population and 25% of the world's gross domestic product. That's significant. You know, that's nothing that you can sneeze at. You know, so when you get countries and people in mass like that want a different system, what does that tell you? There's a new sheriff in town, and there is change that is about to come. And as a result, That's probably going to be part of the reason why we're experiencing stagflation in America. And, well, they say recession's already going on in the United Kingdom and parts of Europe, and they're still lying in the United States. But I believe that we're in a depression and it's about to get deeper, And one of the spearheads that helped to craft this within the BRICS different payment systems is a Russian finance minister, Anton Linovov, so go figure, and Russia, knowing that the U.S. and the West would throw sanctions on them, they established another payment system called the SPFS system, and basically what that is, it's a financial messaging system that Russia uses to, make payments and to go around the United States SWIFT system and the U.S. dollar, so that they can deal with other countries without the United States and the West interfering or trying to sanction them because they don't agree with the United States and the West policies. And I think that's fair. I'm gonna be honest. I think that's only fair. You should not be able to tell another country what to do so long as they are not harming other countries and nations globally. If they just going about their business trying to operate, then let them be, But let's see. Europe had established what's known as the the INSEX, which that's the payment system so that they could operate and work with making transactions with Iran. In the event that the United States, dropped sanctions against Iran and wouldn't allow the West to operate, they had a workaround. Okay? Now, I don't know if the INSEX system is still going. They made some payments in transactions with Iran, but, it may, have been stalled, due to current events. Okay. Let's see. What else do I have? Okay. Let's see. India is using the UPI, which is, let's see. What is it? UPI. What is it? Universal Payment Index. So, these countries have established workarounds and they're not waiting, on, the United States, and the West for their approval or to lift sanctions for them to be able to handle their business. So this is something that's going on currently as we speak. China obviously has a counter to the SWIFT system, which is the CIPS. And let me see, what is that? Give me a second, guys. I'm looking here at my notes. Oh, okay. The CIPS with China is the cross-border international bank payment system. So they these countries are not fools. They have alternative workarounds, and they are operating, doing trades and stuff like that in their own individual currencies. And obviously, the BRICS country, the BRICS, not the BRICS country, but the BRICS currency. Obviously, as I had made a video about how it is equal to $55, in U.S. currency for one BRICS coin. So that tells you that there's a new sheriff in town because China is the head of it and Russia is a close second. It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and you have, I believe, another 35 countries that are ready to join the BRICS, and they should be in there by this summer. So these countries are tired of the U.S. bullying, and their sanctions. So I guess they rocking and rolling and have made changes to de-dollarize and to unseat the dollar. And I don't believe at this point there's nothing that the United States or the West can do about it. It's already rolling, and these guys are forming together like Voltron. So it's too late. China and the BRICS, they slid right up in there at the right time, right up on the United States and the West noses, and they got the drop on them. They caught them, and I would not be surprised that the United States and the West would get into it with China and with Russia. That there's going to be a potential World War III behind this, because they are literally before our eyes getting ready to snatch the United States hegemony, getting ready to snatch them out of power. But hey, it is what it is. Everybody has their season, and every dog has their day. And the BRICS Alliance, I said it before, that they would rival NATO, but they coming in clean with the drop, on the United States and NATO. So, hey, it is what it is. But that's all I have on this episode. And the name of my podcast is Snack Thoughts, SNAKZTHOUGHTS, Snack Thoughts. And you can find my podcast on Spreaker, SoundCloud, Radio PPM, Google Podcast, iTunes, Apple, and a host of other social media outlets. And I also have a YouTube channel called Eric Broadus YouTube. That's ERICBROADUS YouTube, or ericbroadusyoutube.com. So please subscribe to Snack Thoughts and to Eric Broadus YouTube. And if you don't like the podcast or the videos, then hit the unlike button. If you like them, hit the like button. Leave a comment. Either way, I love to dialogue with you to see what your thoughts are. But again, push it out. Snack Thoughts and Eric Broadus YouTube. Push them out to friends, families, enemies, frenemies, rats, bats, goats, dogs, cats, whatever. Push them out. But again, for the BRICS nations, for the BRICS Alliance, there's no turning back. They've made their stand, they've made their statement, and they've made it hard. And that's all I have on this one, guys. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace.